Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I decided to do some nails inspired by Yandere Simulator. And all the designs you see right now are hand painted, no nail stamps or no vinyls were used. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So as always, when it comes to my nail art, I went ahead with the base coat and painted all of my nails 2 coats of a white. For the exception of my thumbnail, I painted it a light pink color. And speaking of my thumbnail, I'm actually going to paint on the star herself, Ayano or Yandere-Chan. To achieve this look, I am just taking a paintbrush as well as a toothpick and a safety pin to do the really tiny details. And while looking at a reference photo, I'm just doing my best to paint on the outline that is Yandere-Chan. Basically, I started off painting on her head as well as her shoulders. When I got a decent outline of what I wanted, I just went in and started working on her schoolgirl uniform. I made the mistake of going in with her hair without working on her face details first. Messed with the proportion on the way I wanted her hair to frame her face, so I went ahead and worked on the eyes first. I got her eyes down to the way that fit my liking. Afterwards, I went in very carefully and repainted her hair. Now you could just leave her hair regular old black, however I wanted to go in with a dark gray polish and just kind of outline her hair just to add a little more detail. Now that the first design is out of the way, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, which is on the pointer finger. And I figured since we're on the topic of yanderes, I would paint on the name of her senpai as well as outline it in a bloody heart. So starting off, I just took my safety pin and some black acrylic paint and I painted on Taro's name. After that, I just went in with red acrylic paint and a toothpick and painted on a heart as well as some blood drips. Make sure to let the red acrylic paint dry completely before going in and just kind of touching things up with the white acrylic paint, otherwise it will turn pink. And here is the completed nail design. And also, do not worry about the little bumps you see here, it'll smooth out whenever we add the top coat later. Now moving on to my middle nail design. Now this is a pretty simple design, it's just her schoolgirl uniform, but the entirety of it. This uniform design is actually fairly easy, so I'm going to do my best to explain it. So starting off, I am just taking some dark blue acrylic paint since it's much easier to work with, like I said before, and I'm just going to paint on 2 lines connecting and just fill it in. While that's drying, I'm going to go in with some red acrylic paint and begin painting on her bow. I did a little red dash right there where the tip of the blue was, and now I'm just adding 2 red lines coming out of it. Sure to leave a little white right there in the corners of your nail. And now up under that dash line, I'm just going to paint on 2 vertical football shapes and fill them in. And let the acrylic paint completely dry before moving on to the next step, which is I'm going to take a toothpick as well as black acrylic paint and begin doing some extra details. And just to add more detail on this uniform design, I'm going to paint on a tiny white triangle. Afterwards, I'm going to go back to the blue portion of my nail, and I'm just going to go in with a lighter blue just to mimic some highlight. Plus peach to mimic her chest. I also went in with black and white acrylic paint to do final details. And here's the completed nail design. And now, moving on to my 4th nail design. This design is inspired by the reputation bar that is in the game. And like my other designs, I am simply looking at a reference photo, so I have to apologize in advance. Whether my iPad had low storage, or at that moment, right when I was filming this nail tutorial, it decided to crap out on me. The footage that was used for this design in particular was not recorded, unfortunately. However, I was able to record the last part of this design, in which I added the final details of the reputation bar by painting the left side dark purple, the other side pink. And I'm going to wait for this acrylic paint to completely dry before I move on to the next step. So 6.5 minutes later, I can now move on. So right up under the heart, I am just going to paint 2 vertical lines right there where the purple and the pink meet. And now I'm going to go in with some white acrylic paint and just kind of fill in between those lines. Now finally, to complete this design, I'm just going to paint on the drama faces that show up on the reputation bar. While the masks are drying, I'm just going to go in with that same pink for the heart and paint rep on the black portion of my nail. I also went ahead and filled in the mask with that color and let them completely dry. And finally, I'm just going to add the face details. I'm going to make the purple side all angry and then the pink side all happy. And for the 5th and final nail design, I was so tired of freehanding at this point, so I decided to paint on a simple love letter. After After the manicure was completely dry, I just went in with 2 coats of a matte top coat, just because I'm not a particular fan of the shiny finish. But you can choose whatever finish you want, whatever you fancy. But yes guys, so here are the completed Yandere-Chan Yandere Simulator inspired nails. I'm not gonna lie, this was pretty challenging to paint on just because of all the freehanding, and it was a bit time consuming. Regardless, I had lots of fun painting this on. I like a challenge and I like stepping out of my comfort zone every now and then. But anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what other nail art you would like for me to do on my channel. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching.